Hi and Assalamualaikum everyone. So my name is Balkis binti Abdul Rahman and I am a LG 240 student from Research China campus. For my slide, I will be presenting about collocations. English is just like cooking. So single words are the ingredients but collocations are the recipe. So when the right words mix together, the sentence will sound more natural and fluent. So today I will brief you about the meaning of a collocation. So what is a collocation? A collocation is a group of two or more words that are often used together in a way that sounds natural to a native speakers. Learning collocation is very crucial for you because even though you might know hundreds vocabulary of words, but if you're not putting them together in a nice place, your English may sound robotic or may seem awkward. So here's why collocations are very essential for you. So the first thing is they help you sound more natural and fluent while speaking English. And second is they can improve or even guide you through your speaking and writing skills. And you might need it in your academic writing subjects or something. And then lastly, it can help you to avoid awkward sentences. Like for example, we don't say I did a mistake, but we say I made a mistake. Okay. In my slides, I will be explaining about 7 main types of collocation along with the examples. So collocations are not just random words, but they follow a certain pattern based on this part of speech that is involved. So learning this pattern will help you spot any collocation more easily and use them more confidently in your speech or your writing. The first collocation type is adjective plus noun. This is one of the most common collocation types where some adjectives are naturally used with specific nouns. So for example, we don't say we are in a low sleep, but we say we are in a deep sleep. And then we also say brief moment, heavy rain, and high standards. The second type of collocation is noun plus noun. Sometimes one noun is used to modify another noun, creating a fixed or commonly accepted phrase. So these are not just two nouns sitting together, but they form a compound concept that even native speakers can recognize immediately. So here's a list of noun plus noun collocation. So we don't say make a break, but instead we say take a break. You can recognize the collocation perfectly. And then another example is job interview, traffic jam, and data analysis. 3. Verb plus noun collocation. So there are collocation where a verb is paired with a noun, and some people usually make mistake for this collocation because they include common words like do, give, or take. So the example for noun plus noun collocation is do homework, make a decision, take a break, and pay attention. Okay, the fourth collocation is noun plus verb. So this collocation describes what actions are commonly done by a certain noun, which is the subject, and it is often used in writing or more descriptive language. Okay, the fifth collocation is adverb plus verb. In this collocation, the adverb describes how the action or the verb is done. So for the example, we don't say run fastly, but we say run quickly. And we also say gently touch, carefully listen, and quietly leave. Okay, the next collocation is about adverb plus adjective. So the adverb intensifies or qualifies the adjective that follows. So for the example, we don't say strongly concerned, but we say deeply concerned, fully aware, and highly recommended. Okay, last collocation is about verb plus preposition. So these are combinations where certain verbs are commonly paired with a specific preposition and they form a natural expression in English. The easiest example that we can say is depends on, believe in, and apologize for. There are so many common collocation mistakes that English learners do. So most of them get tripped up by the collocations. Why this happens is because many combinations that sounds logical in your native language just don't work in English. So these subtle mistakes can make your speech or writing sound more awkward, even if your grammar is perfect. So here's a breakdown of the most frequent collaboration mistakes and why they happen and how to avoid them. So first is by using the wrong verb. One of the most common errors is by pairing a noun with the wrong verb, especially with general verbs like do, make, say, or have. The second mistake is using literal translation from your native language. So a phrase might be perfectly logical in your first language like Malay, France, or something, but it just sounds unnatural in English. Okay, so third mistake is mixing up similar collocation. So some words collocate with different partners even in different situations, and mixing them up can lead to any confusion. The next mistake is they overusing safe by boring words. So some learners overuse words like very, good, or bad instead of a natural collocations. For example, some beginners say very tired instead of exhausted or completely worn out. Okay, last collocation mistake is forgetting preposition in grammatical collocations. So all I can say is preposition is small but indeed powerful for the sentence. We have learned about common collocation mistakes, and now we are moving to the next slides about how to avoid doing mistakes. So first thing first, you have to study common word or noun collocations and learn them in a full phrase so that you can memorize the sentence properly. You also need to use authentic English sources to train your ear to what sounds normal in English. The third way is by learning collocation in context and notice who is performing the action. The third way is by learning collocation in context and notice who is performing their action. And then we also have to upgrade our vocabulary by replacing with more natural alternative. So like, we don't say very tired, but we say very as fast that sounds more natural and more fluent to the native speakers. And then lastly, we can pay special attention to adjective or preposition verb pairs. Okay, we have learned about some collocation mistakes in English, and now we are discussing about how we can learn collocations more effectively. Okay, so first thing is the easiest way, which is by reading and listening to English movies, books, shows, or podcasts. Or you can just listen to your favorite songs and translate your own lyrics. The next way is by keeping a collocation notebook, or even use collocation dictionaries from the Oxford or the Macmillan for the famous one. And then you can also practice by making a simple sentence in your notebook so that you can learn more effectively. Okay, so let me tell you a fun facts about collocation. So first thing is there any difference between idioms and collocation? The answer is yes. Collocations are a natural word pairings, meanwhile idioms are a fixed phrase whose meanings are not literal. Collocation also exists in all languages. For example, in Malay, we say kopi pekat, and then the literal meaning is thick coffee, but in English, the equivalent of kopi pekat is strong coffee. Now that we have come to the end of the topic, I have provided some exercise for you guys to answer it. And I will guide you through the first question. The answer is decision, to quit her job and travel. Why we say we made a decision? So the answer is because made a decision is verb plus noun collocation. Easy, right? Okay, I guess you all can do it. Okay, that's all for me today. Thank you. The references that guide me to make these slides. Okay, I guess that's all from me. Thank you for lending me your ears. Thank you.